Hi, you're listening to Two Dumb Babies, an animated current events podcast by two comedians who only read headlines. This week, Two Dumb Babies discuss the coronavirus and how we're all disgusting monsters. Don't forget to wash your hands. I'm fine.
Why does everything from China have to threaten my way of life? Wuhan Coronavirus sounds like an album of unreleased Wu-Tang Clan songs from the 90s.
Coronavirus sounds like the first sponsored virus.
Yeah, like the Tostitos Coronavirus Bowl, sponsored by MGM.
You know, I'm surprised Disney never bought the rights to HIV.
They're buying everything else, dude. Like, coming to theaters this year, Crazy Diseased Asians. Not the movie, just a bunch in the theater. They're saying exotic animal traders are the people responsible for the outbreak. An exotic animal trader sounds like a job from the 1500s.
Yeah, it's like Marco Polo. It's like, yeah, I sell spices, maps, and exotic animals.
Yeah, he like rode in on an elephant. Like, yeah, this guy probably has something sketchy.
Yeah, don't buy stuff from that guy.
Yeah, I only take gold.
Sacks of gold.
Gold and crystals. Rare gemstones. This isn't a virus. This is a curse. There was a cursed item purchased from this exotic animal trader.
Yeah, where'd you get this? I got this in a cave in the sand that is now closed. It doesn't exist anymore. It opens only once every 1,000 years.
There's an amulet in Sanskrit. It's like, man, this curse just gives you pneumonia. This is kinda lame.
Like an organ grinder, a dude with a fucking monkey who's got a fez on and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe don't get your food from that guy.
Yeah, he sells food out of his like jacket. He like opens his jacket like a watch salesman. Hey, you looking for some beaver?
You just got pieces of paper safety pinned onto the meat. It says what it is.
Yeah, just please buy something from me. It smells horrible in this jacket.
It looks like you were homeless and just in the forest for a weekend and
Yeah,
killed
exactly.
some animals that came near you.
Most Chinese people hate the exotic meat market.
When I heard exotic meat market, I was expecting like lions and bears and like bald eagles. It's just like beavers and snakes.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, China has rednecks too. We also hate people who eat squirrels.
Yeah, it sounds like they brought the exotic meats in a pickup truck.
Yeah, and like a cooler full of like Bud Light. And when the SARS outbreak happened, it had already spread across the whole world before China admitted it had originated there.
Yeah, and we got real mad at them. And then this time, they were very transparent about it and sought international help.
And we rewarded them by calling it the Wuhan Coronavirus. It's like calling it Chinese disease.
You couldn't have come up with an acronym for them like we did with SARS? People don't immediately know where SARS came from, but I know where Wuhan Coronavirus comes from.
I didn't even know what Wuhan was before this, and now I will never forget.
It's like, we only call the flu influenza when we're trying to scare everyone.
Yeah, and we only call it Wuhan Coronavirus when we want everyone to hate the Chinese. It's not a death sentence disease. It's pretty much like pneumonia.
Pneumonia kills like 50,000 people a year in the U.S. Wait, why aren't we scared of pneumonia? Why are we like, oh no, this is going to get us. There's like 6 people with it.
Well, this is Chinese pneumonia. It's way scarier. This pneumonia hates America. They just brought back all of the Americans who were in Wuhan and like all the surrounding area.
Why the hell would they do that? It's like they were at the epicenter of the outbreak.
Yeah, those people are Chinese now.
All the Americans they brought back from Wuhan are quarantined in California.
One of our largest and most populous states.
Why don't you bring them somewhere that nobody lives, like Oklahoma?
Or better yet, Guam. Why do we even have Guam? We can use it for quarantines. It'd be perfect. It could be like our Molokai.
Yeah, like let Guam go free if we're not going to use it to ship all our sick people there.
Yeah, free Guam. Free Guam or ruin Guam. One of the two. Every time an outbreak happens, we find out if these doctors are really worth all this money.
All right, buddy, let's put that Lamborghini to work.
What can you really do?
How many saves do you have?
Yeah.
What numbers are on the board?
We should treat doctors like pitchers. Are you good in the 9th inning, or are you fall apart under pressure, dude?
Yeah, you're like, I'm great at figuring out what the disease is. I'm horrible at curing it.
Diseases have been around forever. It's when you pair them with climate disasters, nuclear war, and general disdain for each other does it get really bad.
Where have I heard this story before? Oh God, the Bible.
Yeah, that's not good. Every time I tell myself this isn't the end times, another one of the plagues shows up and proves me wrong.
Like, is it raining blood outside?
At least it's raining. We're in a drought.
If any country would create a disease and test it on its own people, it is China.
Yeah, the Chinese government has already proven they don't mind testing things out of their own people. Like tanks.
Any big Tiananmen Square fans?
Yeah. Classic 80s moment. Hair metal and Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square does sound like a hair metal band from the 80s.
Yeah. I've I've got no riffs on Tiananmen Square. I don't even remember what it actually was about. I just know that there was a person trying to stop a tank. And boy, was that stupid.
It didn't work. Well, it was like students. It was like a bunch of students protesting the government, and then they just turned the military.
But what were they protesting?
They were like protesting the excessive use of the military, probably.
They're protesting literally the tank that was running them over.
Yeah, they were like, hey, this is bullshit.
Hey, don't run us. And that's almost like which came first? Were they protesting first, or did the tank start running them over first?
Yeah, exactly. It's almost poetic.
Damn students, always protesting.
Hey, no more military. I know how to get rid of this.
Bring in the military.
Bring in the military. Send them in. They ran out of surgical masks in China. It's not like they were working to begin with, but they did run out of them.
No, they don't wear them to stop the disease. They wear them to stop themselves from eating weird animals. China actually ran out of the medical kits that they need to test people for the virus.
The only thing China can't mass produce is medical supplies for its sick people.
Like, maybe stop making our president's hats for a few days and focus your child labor on some needles and medical kits.
You got all that sweet child labor, you're using it wrong.
Close down the Apple factory for one day.
Yeah. Can stop making turbochargers, whatever the fuck they call it.
Luckily, their president already built all those death camps, so they won't have to build new ones.
Yeah, just use the infrastructure that's already there, man.
Here we were saying they should get rid of those things.
We really, gee, you're looking red in the face now, huh, America?
Yeah.
Aw, jeez. Hey, if anyone knows about internment camps, it's also
Yeah.
So the Wuhan coronavirus has made it to Japan.
If you think the Japanese hated the Chinese before this, just wait until next year.
There's a statement released by the Japanese Minister of Health that said, "I told you so. I was right. Chinese people are gross." I'm like, all right, this isn't really about the virus.
This sounds very mean.
Yeah, this sounds like you just hate Chinese people.
U.S. health officials recommended avoiding China. Also, every other U.S. official recommends avoiding China.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a recommendation to go to China from the U.S. one time in my life.
The only thing America likes sending to China is trash.
Yeah, not our people.
There are already some conspiracies about the virus that it isn't actually from Wuhan. They cite that some people who caught the disease haven't even been to China.
Yeah, that's how the spread of disease works.
The U.S. is number one in terms of preparedness for an outbreak like this.
It's rare you see America number one on a list for anything besides gun deaths, and boy, am I glad it's this one. People are worried this is a pandemic and not just an epidemic.
Yeah, that's an epidemic that fucks everybody. No standards.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm into it. This pandemic is ruining this neighborhood.
These damn pandemics.
These goddamn pandemics. This is why we like zombie movies, because we can actually fight the disease, like, with our hands.
Yeah, that's all zombies are. They're just a disease we can physically kill.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone thinks they have a fucking fighting chance of a zombie outbreak, but nobody thinks they're going to be okay against the flu.
Yeah. I'm real good with a machete, but bed rest and soup is so difficult.
Yeah, I hate the taste of Motrin. Swordsmanship, though. I'm incredible.
Yeah, I've been getting real good with this crossbow.
I've never held a sword once in my life, but I'll probably be pretty good at it.
I'll probably be fine.
All the articles about the virus are headlined, "Panic. Here's why you shouldn't panic."
Yeah, written in insanely different fonts.
Like, I know what you're doing. Journalists are looking more like Alex Jones every day.
Yeah, maybe world news doesn't all have to be clickbait.
Yeah, exactly. We just have one good article.
Isn't there an expert on anything anymore? What happened to experts?
Yeah, with the Watergate, if Watergate happened now, it'd be like, you wouldn't believe what Nixon was doing in his room last night. You're like, oh, is he jerking off? Oh, it's a scandal. Holy shit. All right, well, thanks. I hope you drink your Motrin, take your Oxycontin.
Wash your hands. And
is that good?
Cough into your sleeve instead of onto people's faces.
Does Oxycontin stop, like, pneumonia and stuff?
I think Oxycontin stops, like, everything. Like, even sometimes your heart.
Stops motor function.
Yeah, your breathing.
So yeah, get some Oxycontin. If you're going to die, might as well die.
With a smile on your face?
With Oxycontin? I don't know. We're sponsored by Purdue Pharma.
Yeah.
So anyway, don't visit China. Stay home for the Chinese New Year, like you do every year. You have no reason to go to China.
It already happens. Chinese New Year's over.
Yeah, we're good. Done. Go to San Francisco if you like China so much. All right. Well, stay healthy. Wear your masks. Don't be from Wuhan. If you're from Wuhan, don't be.
That's our medical advice.
The CDC released an announcement. If you're from Wuhan, stop being from Wuhan. Your best chance of not catching the disease is not being from Wuhan.
Everyone else, don't worry.
Well, I hope the internet's still on so you guys can watch this. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Some of you. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow the show at Two Dumb Babies on all social media. You can follow Eric at Eric J. Freedman and Willie at William F. Salmon. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we drop the animated episodes, behind the scenes, and additional content. New episodes drop every Monday. Please subscribe, rate, and leave a comment on the podcast. We'll see you all on another episode of Two Dumb Babies. Bye-bye, dummies.